We are getting you ready for Halloween with a little ghost story. Alta Bivens bought what she thought was an old church in Ozark. She made some renovations, creating an antique shop in the front of the building and an Airbnb in the back, but that's when some weird things started happening. The historic Morgue is the newest hotspot of paranormal activity in our Ozarks Life. A block from the Ozark Square, Church Street Antiques and More is cherished.
I just wanted it to be saved and preserved.
Alta Bivens found that more after buying the former church, morgue, undertaking company, embalming company, and funeral home.
I was in here one day and felt an entire hand resting on my back.
People have also seen a woman peering from windows.
A lot of children's voices, singing almost like choir music.
And then there's this picture of what Alta says is a 7-foot-tall shadow figure standing in front of a doorway.
We felt it had a really diverse background, so we really wanted to get in here and investigate it.
For a 6th year, we're following the paranormal investigation of David Glidden. The founder of 4State Paranormal is looking to confirm or debunk the claims here at Alta's historic morgue Airbnb.
2 sections of this building that are pretty much off limits to guests of the Airbnb, but we're getting special access to those locations tonight.
I followed David and his friend John Long to the basement to start the night off.
While we were down there, we didn't hear anything with our own ears, but the camera's audio did capture something.
Here it is again. Next, we moved to the old sanctuary, which Alta has turned into an antique shop. David started using a microcom
as a form of spirit communication. Now this works by sweeping through the FM bands, and it actually sweeps through the low end to the high end that radio stations don't use. But we try to use this to get responses.
We were wondering if anyone from the Klepper funeral home was still here.
Klepper?
Kathy.
Kevin?
We then took the microcom into the Airbnb.
Is there a place in this building that we should go to?
Would you like to take a bath in the bathtub?
No.
With the night starting to pick up, there was still one voice we hadn't heard from yet.
A spirit of a girl that's supposed to be here, and she's supposed to be quite vocal.
To help us out, I invited my friend Nicolette Zangara.
If a kid's afraid to come to a man, she may be more comfortable coming to a woman.
I am very excited to be a part of this ghost hunt, whatever you want to call it, because it's something that's always really interested me as a kid.
With Nicolette joining us in the basement, things started to pick up. Can you make a tapping noise or knock something? There's a lot of stuff. Nicolette and I didn't hear it, but here's what David heard. Make a tapping noise or knock. Make a tapping noise or knock. Later, Nicolette held out a teddy bear for the little girl to come and look at.
I feel pressure on the bear.
You feel pressure on the bear?
Mm-hmm.
I did feel some sort of pressure or touch there, but it was pretty fast.
What would you name the bear?
It's gone.
I would definitely stay here for a staycation.
The great thing about investigating at an Airbnb is the evidence could still be collected when David and John spent the night.
We went to bed, and in the middle of the night, the door that goes into the sanctuary opened up by itself. Well, when we got up in the morning, I told Dave about it, and we tried to reproduce it, and we couldn't do that.
Although we did capture some things and had some experiences, I think we're going to let the viewers decide for themselves whether this place is haunted or not.
David, by the way, has a streaming show called Haunting History on YouTube. We have a link to it in this story at ky3.com. And also a link if you want to stay at the historic morgue in Ozark. It's also on the Airbnb website as well. Alta did open the antique shop for us, but it's not a part of the stay. She's hoping to reopen the antique shop later this summer.